When my son was first diagnosed with autism, I am a teacher. So I was like, okay, I know how important early intervention is. I need to teach him all these things. And yes, of course, teaching him things is good, but I would get so frustrated because I was always pushing for the next word and the next skill and to learn the next thing. And sometimes it was very slow going, and I also could see that he was frustrated and the way I was trying to teach him wasn't really working to support him. And I finally, along with trial and error from him and working with some of his speech and occupational therapists and getting ideas from different experts, I was able to learn some great strategies to better communicate with him and to support him in communicating with us. So today I want to share 5 specific communication opportunities that most parents miss because I used to miss them. These are everyday opportunities. Stay tuned, especially for number 5, because that one has made the most difference for us. And if you're new here, I am Katie. I'm a mom of 4, including an autistic 4-year-old. I make content all about how to support your autistic child and communicate better with your child. So go ahead and subscribe so you're notified about the next video. Tip number 1, communicating during transitions. I don't know about your child, but my child really struggles with transitions, and that's a pretty common struggle for autistic children. Routine is everything, and when it's time for one activity to be done, if there's been no warning about it, oh man, that is really a stressor. And so a few simple things that I have implemented. I created for my son a first then board. And I also created a visual schedule. For now, the one I use just has a 1, 2, 3. I'm also creating one in a visuals pack and mini course that I'm working on. Adding one that's 5 steps because for a little bit older kids, I know that they can handle a little bit more. My son, it's 2, and he knows what's coming next. The next thing is a visual timer. And so I really like this one. It has a cute little cloud, and this works for my older son too when he's setting a time limit for himself, but it counts down and the child can actually see what's coming. And there we go, beep, beep, beep. There is also an app on my phone that I use so I can have a visual timer anywhere we go, and it is really cute. It reveals a spinny picture at the end, and so it's helpful, and they kind of get excited when it's going to be the end because it reveals the picture. When I don't have anything at my disposal, but I want to do something that's still visual to help my child, and I don't have my phone handy, I don't have the visuals handy, I do a verbal 1 more minute, and then we're going to blank. And then when we're in our last few seconds, I do with my hand a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all done. That's the sign language sign for all done. And that with the 1 minute preparation and then that visual 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just that he's able to know, because we've done it so many times, that that means we are indeed transitioning to that next activity. Ideally, you're pairing some of these things. So you have the visual schedule before they start the activity and you've warned them, and then maybe you're doing the visual timer, or if you don't have the visual timer, you're doing the 1 minute and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, tip number 2, an often missed communication opportunity, is giving waiting time and processing time. For many autistic children, it takes a little bit longer to process information. And this processing time can range from a few seconds to a minute to hours to even months. In our case, my son, sometimes months after Christmas, he'll suddenly be singing Christmas songs. And so in a daily interaction, actually remembering to wait and give that processing time, allow the wheels to spin a little bit before you're automatically going on to the next thing or asking the question over and over again. Ask the question or point out what's happening or whatever it is, and give your child time to process. Try starting by counting to 10 and then saying, okay, take a breath, and trying again if your child is not responding after 10 seconds. I've noticed that when I remember to give that processing time and actually count, Oftentimes, unexpectedly, he is able to respond, and he's a lot less frustrated because he is able to make the simple choice or whatever that thing is. Along with waiting and processing time, little bonus tip is to offer two clear choices. If we're having cereal in the morning, I will physically show the two boxes of cereal which one, and he will point to the one he wants, and he gets so excited he'll point and he'll say cereal and it's one of his favorite times of the day. Simple, just allowing clear choices and waiting and allowing that time to process and then make the choice or make that communication. You'll have noticed with both of the first two tips, I've talked about how visuals can really help autistic children. I actually have a free visual starter pack listed in the description, and it just connects to my Stan store. I am working on a more extensive product of a mini course that has a lot of other visuals that will help with the day-to-day attached. So if you sign up for the freebie, you'll also be notified when the full course and pack of visuals are available. Tip number 3, communication opportunities during outings. We're going to the grocery store, we're going to the park, we're going for a ride in the car. All of these things, visuals, again, can help with preparation for these things, a visual schedule, whatever that might be. But when you are actually out and about, you want to do narrating of what you see and what's going on, and then have your child be involved in it. So my son still likes to sit in the front of the grocery cart, and at least at Costco where he fits, we let him he's a little big at some of the other places to sit in the front. So we've finally convinced him to sit in the basket. But if we can involve him in the process where he's helping, we're handing him the light things that he can handle, and he's helping to put those down in the cart or helping us to find certain things we're looking for. That's a great way to make it fun to do the errand, but also help teach your child and grow those communication skills when you're out and about having those opportunities. Number 4 is communication opportunities with music and poems and rhymes. My son really loves music, and before he was talking very much, he was actually able to repeat songs. So we would do repeat songs. One of my favorite, "This is the day that the Lord has made." So it goes, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. And what we would do though is we'd go through each person in the family. So we'd say like, this is the mommy that the Lord has made. And so he would actually start to learn and identify the names of the people in our family that way. This was like a year or two ago. He's gotten much better at being able to know who's who and actually use all of our names in the last year. But finding things like rhymes or anything where you can fill in the word when it's with a song can be really great. Miss Rachel does this super well, and it's something I would use like her exact things too. So if my son is helping me do the laundry and we're putting the laundry in to the washer, I would do the Miss Rachel, put it in, put it in, put it, and then he fills in the word in, and then we put it into the washer together. And so just knowing that those things may be past the age that neurotypical children would really be using those songs, at least for my son, and where he is developmentally still using a lot of songs, a lot of rhymes, is very helpful for him with his routine and with growing his language and communication skills. And then tip number 5, I promise, is my favorite, and this has to do with playtime. I used to really struggle with playtime, and it's because I kind of had my own version of how I thought playtime should go. And so I would be thinking, okay, playtime is where we do this kind of pretend play, or we're learning this skill with the playtime. And I have learned a few things. So one is to really just get down into his world and to not expect his play to be the way that I play with my other children, right? His version of play, he likes Play-Doh a lot, so anything that's kind of sensory that he can manipulate. And then he also likes really physical play, and so things like chasing and tickles and things like that. And when we do tickling, I make sure to do pauses and see, okay, is he still enjoying this? And now he'll actually request, he'll say, more tickles, and he'll start laughing before we even start. And we do that. We do riding up, flying game. He gets on my feet and puts his arm out, and he loves helicopters, so we pretend he's a helicopter. And so basically, the play that we do, I connect to the things that he loves and he wants to do rather than putting these other expectations on it. And what's cool is we've been able to actually turn that into learning time. And so we might be specifically learning something, like we're working on shapes, or we're working on connecting pictures and what different art items are. But then we'll do that, and I have my token system. I shared this in my elopement video with practicing for safety too, but he loves helicopters, so we have a helicopter token board, and so he'll do 5 where we're practicing shapes, for example, and he'll get his 5 tokens. And then after he gets the 5 tokens, then we do whatever the silly game is that he loves so much. So whether it's riding up on my feet or tickles or whatever, so he's able to connect the learning experience and getting the tokens to that positive activity with me as well. All right. I know that communication can be such a struggle. So I hope that these give you some ideas for just more daily communication opportunities, and where you can continue to watch your child grow more, connect more, and both of you being able to communicate with each other better. Remember to subscribe. That freebie is also below. And I also have links to the things I showed, the visual timer, as affiliate links in the description as well.